I'm now under the combine. Laura was running it, and I think Laura broke it.
Tractor cabs are not meant for 3 people.
Chief is a family-owned, Nebraska-based company comprised of 7 diverse brands. Chief, trusted, tested, true.
Good morning, everyone. It is an exciting day today, okay? You're going to want to stick around for this entire video. I have goosebumps currently, even though it is almost 80 degrees outside. I'm a little scared, but very excited because today is the first official day of harvest. Now, since the first thing that we harvest every year is soybeans, because they're the first things that are ready, the days don't start out super early. Soybeans are pretty finicky. You can't cut them when the moisture is high. So you can't start really early in the morning and you can't go really late into the evening, which means we have a little bit of time to prepare everything in the mornings, but it is time to head out to the field. Soybean harvest is much slower compared to corn harvest. So we really only need 1 grain cart. So this one's going to stay in the shop and we are going to be making our way out to that one. Before we do that, though, we have a little bit of an assignment. It's imperative that I show you the kittens. They are little bundles of joy. So cute. This shed is pretty well cleaned out with all of the harvest equipment out and about. I need to make a tool run to Grant, who is driving the combine out to the field. And I believe, oh, yep, there it is. That should be everything he needs. Service engine soon seems to be a pretty familiar dash light on this pickup. Still has the crank windows and a worn out spot in the steering wheel from where farmers have been gripping it for a very long time. Trusty old thing. Grant is just opening up the field, picking a couple of these end rows, making a place for all of the trucks and my grain cart to park. Also makes turning around easier so we can get into the middle of the field. We'll see what the moisture is doing once I get out to him.
So right now we are changing. See those little things on the outside of the combine that come up like this?
Yeah, the yellow things?
The yellow things. So it's pushing the crop that's laid over, it's pushing it underneath. And so there's different tips we can put on to pick the crop up instead of push it down. Pretty
simple. All it is these 2 bolts under here. The best nails in farming are still going strong here, just so everybody knows. That's pretty handy.
Just store it back there.
And just keep them right there on the head so when you can change out. And does this one go right over there?
I'm not sure if they'll fit with that big coffin.
Might have to put these in the back of the pickup. Just need to take this off now. That, I'm no expert, Grant, but that doesn't really look right to me there.
I don't have any metric Allen wrenches, so.
We really do use those for everything. You need to get some metric tools out here. So once we take this off, this will just go right in place of that. Don't strip it out now. Okay.
That's off. Let's put the other one on.
Make sure all the bolt holes line up.
Okay.
Side one down. Time for the second one. This is a little more intensive than I thought it would be. Here comes Gage in the grain cart. Grant and I are hopping in the combine.
The windrows are pretty sparse.
Really not much out here. Do you have auto steer on your Hendros?
Yeah.
Wow. Very fancy.
Have them tips do it.
Oh, I don't see it pushing anything. That's good. Today marks the very first day full of harvest snacks, incomplete meals, lots of energy drinks, hustle and bustle, non-stop go. About the same time.
There's Gage.
About the same time that my home starts falling apart because we spend all the time in the cab of either a truck, a tractor, or the combine. But it's only about 5 or 6 weeks long, so it's really a mad dash, and then we have the rest of winter to recover. I personally am excited for some window time. It's been a long time since I've been in the cab of something aside from some of the demos that we ran at Farm Progress Show and Husker Harvest Days, so I'm excited to be here.
You can see see it's not pushing any over.
Oh.
Before.
The irrigated beans are definitely a lot more spindly. Got a lot more length to them. Look at how much more we're bringing into the feeder house. So I have a question, Grant.
Yeah.
We plant our soybeans in 30-inch rows, straight rows all the way down the field.
Yeah.
Why in the world are you harvesting them on an angle?
So you can see right here, you can see they're kind of green. And there's draw here, so I'm following the draw in the dry land because the bean head can't flex that much and so miss much beans. And I'm pretty sure that's too wet. So 2 birds with 1 stone, following the draw, staying out of the wet stuff. We're at 10.6 moisture, which is pretty low, but I think that's gonna be like 15, and that's too wet.
So kind of mixed together to make the perfect moisture? Does it work like that? We're really just focused on getting the dry beans right now.
Yeah.
We're not going to take this whole quarter out today.
Well, it's still early in the day, so I'm just giving this a little more time to
Dry out.
dry out.
Cool.
Screw around out here for a while.
It's kind of nice. You cannot harvest corn at an angle, but soybeans are a lot more forgiving, so you
Man,
get
look
to do
at that.
stuff like
Look
this.
at our fix out there. It's working great.
Another point about cutting beans at an angle, I've heard that it's better for your draper head because when you're cutting in a line, it's wearing out specific sickles. So I've heard that harvesting at an angle kind of equally wears all the sickles. What's going on in your head right now is there's lots of sharp little triangles called sickles, and they're going back and forth like this really, really fast, and that's what's actually cutting the beans down. And so I've heard that this is better, equal wear among the sickles.
Most of our fields they're ridged, like you know how we cultivate. So we don't cultivate beans, but the ridges are still left over from the previous year when we had corn. But this field we don't ridge because it's Dad's no-till project field. He wants to try no-till, and this is the field he wanted to try because it's so rough. There's so many gullies and stuff, and so less tillage equals less erosion. So this is our little project field. There's no ridges, so we can do whatever we want out there.
No tillage at all. So we'll see how this field stacks up against the fields where we've done minimal tillage, and then I guess you can't really compare soybeans to corn, but Grant and I do have that field where we totally disked it up. So we'll just see what the ground looks like at the end of this harvest and then going into planting season next year. Every field and farm is completely different, so we found it's best to kind of create a different recipe for every field and see what works best for that land, the personality of that ground, and the crops we have growing, instead of just deciding one equal thing for across the entire farm. Really just deciding what works best for each particular field.
We're gonna skip the truck and load the grain cart for the first time. Mostly because it's a bigger target. I have missed the truck before.
Oh boy. There's a big auger right there.
We set the traps, right?
I hope so. I guess we're about to find out pretty soon here. Since it is the beginning of harvest, I thought I would do 2 public service announcements. One is there is so many fake accounts and scammers. You guys are so nice and they're commenting, wonderful things underneath my post. I really appreciate that. But I have all these fake accounts that are popping up claiming to be me and asking you to message back and forth with them. And I just want you to know that is not me. I'm not doing any giveaways. I'm not doing any prizes. I won't ask you guys to send me money or ask to help me or anything like that. People will just go to no ends to try and scam people out of money, and it's so frustrating. So I try to report them and get them blocked as soon as possible, but just know that I will reply to a few comments, but not like these scammers are doing. So if it looks suspicious, it's definitely not me. So I just really don't want any of you guys to lose money or have your information stolen.
Honestly, waste your guys' time.
Well, yeah, or just waste your time if you think you're chatting with me. It's not me. Then the second public service announcement is that I have kind of a personal goal that I've set, and that is to reach 500,000, 500,000 subscribers by the end of harvest. So I don't know when the end of harvest will be here, but if you haven't already subscribed, now is your chance. It's free, and you can help me hit a personal milestone for myself. I think it'd be really exciting. So there's your public service announcements. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Check that out. Nice camera action. Grain tank is 3/4 of the way full. Moisture has been hovering around the 11, 12, 13%. We are really bringing in some soybeans now.
These things are bushy.
Combine is working.
Usually you can see a direct row. Look at this mess.
All tangled up, taking it nice and slow. Slow and steady wins the race. We are in no rush. We got a long harvest ahead of us. Looks like Gage remembered what to do. If you guys remember, it has been just about a year since Gage started working for us. We brought him on as some high school harvest help, and I think he just really wanted to drive the tractor with LSW tires on it. But he has been,
Good call.
ooh, that was close.
We
You just slowing down the head here?
Well, we had a pile up over there.
You don't think it's a broken sickle, do you?
I got a pile up there. See?
Look at that. Good job, Gage.
You got final stuff there? There we go.
Oh, perfect. Really have to pay attention as grain cart driver. The combine operator is the boss, really sets the pace. Combine driver's job is to...
We're still pushing.
You might have a sickle down there. You see that kind of line that's dragging behind the head?
There we go.
Think they were just green or what?
Yeah, well, it's actually, I know what it is. See the wind is blowing this way?
Yeah.
It's pushing all my, I'll have to do it again. Dang it.
Even a camera on the end of the auger. Pretty nifty. The first row of shame of harvest.
Hey, this one was an intentional one. No, you had one in the cave.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Okay, we're 1 for 1 this year. Me, corn, you, soybeans.
Well, so I had to be really careful about where my trash goes. I had to slide over because it wasn't working. So I knew what I was doing.
There is a reason. You just have to give you a hard time.
I already got tired of driving the combine, so Laura's doing it now.
This will be my first full harvest running a John Deere combine for the entire time. Because it's Grant and I's first harvest totally together, which is really exciting. I'm not used to this whole fancy auto steer thing, but even with it, you've got to have like swivel on the eyes and the head. You got to be lean forward so you can see everything coming into the feeder house. And on the hydrostat handle, laser focused. And definitely no music playing. Gotta be listening to
It's too
combine.
early in harvest for music. I'm now under the combine. Laura was running it, and I think Laura broke it. What do you think, Laura?
I mean, it did break while I was running it, so I guess I broke it. Yeah, it was less than I thought.
So anyway, it had a low hydraulic oil warning, and that's weird. This is the first day of running it, and it was checked over. But I think I found what happened. You can see it's all wet under here. It's leaking everywhere. And up here you can see the hydraulic lines that go to the steering. And there's a little pinhole. You see it squirting out there? So, yeah, I think we need a new hose.
So that probably explains why there's soybeans everywhere in here.
Yeah, so we forgot to close the drains for the tank. That also explains why.
Oh, look, there's another one up here too.
Yeah.
Perfect. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Good yields around here.
Yeah. All right, let's see. We're looking for this one. Right,
so we've traced the hose up to here. We can unhook it there, unbolt it. There's probably 50 bolts in it. And that goes all the way down to here. So it should be a pretty easy fix. We just gotta go get the hose and get hydraulic oil.
Okay, let's look for this part number up here. Right up here. Tractor cabs are not meant for 3 people.
We're all
At
piled
least I
in
have
here.
some airflow. That's nice. I was getting sweaty in that cab. While we get some parts, might as well fill the fuel trailer up so we can get all the harvest equipment full. Every once in a while on my channel, I do ads or paid promotions or stuff like that. And I'll get comments like, why are you doing that? It's so frustrating. Let me show you why. Not even halfway full, only 42 gallons cost $170. Our tractors do not run without diesel exhaust fluid. Like, they will literally just shut down in the middle of the field. So that is why occasionally I'll do an advertisement here or there. And I just really appreciate you guys understanding and watching, because Laura Farms is how Grant and I help run our farm. So it means the world. Thank you for understanding. We could definitely farm without Laura Farms, but the extra income from like the promotions that we do and the events that we get to go to and that kind of thing is what helps us farm more comfortably, and is definitely going to just kind of patch things over when years aren't so great, when the corn market tanks, when soybeans aren't looking so hot.
When our dry land has nothing in it.
When our dry land has literally nothing, it just is going to help us get through the more sparse years. First of many long harvest days, made it to 3:30 p.m. without any breakfast or lunch. So, Runza it is. Runza is maybe the only plus of having to go to town to get parts. What are you doing up there?
Okay, well, we're taking all these little clips out that hold the hydraulic line in.
Gotcha. Whew.
Hey, go grab me that new hose out of the truck really fast. Okay, I'm gonna pass it through.
Thank you.
There you go.
Phone officially survived a drop through the combine. That was scary. Back at the shop, out of the wind, you can see right where that wore through. New hose is on though, which is good. Grant is driving the combine back here so that we can power wash it off, have everything clean, and then we'll be ready to hit it again tomorrow. I think we might be able to reach our goals in agriculture a lot sooner if we remembered to shut the doors that need to be shut. That's what I think. Holy cow. At least we realized it now and not later in harvest, I guess. I think Pepper is just laughing at us, honestly. She's like, what are these silly humans doing all day long? Holy cow. Is that my kitchen step stool?
Definitely.
Perfectly good ladder right there, and he uses mine.
Hey, that one's too big. This one's just the right size.
Don't let this thing blow you away. You missed it, Grant. Last time I was filling this up, I dropped my phone off the combine. It went through the back of the diesel.
Onto the dirt?
It survived.
Wow.
Grant is going to bring the combine back to the field so that we are ready for tomorrow morning. Overall, I'd say the first day of harvest went about as good as can be expected. I knew we were going to have to work out some kinks, but I'm glad that I can bring you guys along for the ride. Like I said, I have merchandise available, t-shirts that say Aurora Farms, as well as hoodies available now in a limited supply. So go check those out while you can. And I would love to reach 500,000 subscribers by the end of harvest. I hope you enjoyed our first day of harvest. I know I did. There's going to be lots more where that came from. So stay tuned for the next video. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.